Hello, it's Celeste of Astrology by Celeste here on this beautiful Wednesday morning. I'm a certified astrologer, coach, and intuitive, and I'm here to talk about the current astrology, and then I'm going to pull some cards for oracle guidance from the Ritual Earth Oracle by Andres Ingracia and illustrated by Selena Moon. It's a rock pool publishing deck. It's really beautiful. Yes. And you're gonna listen for your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign to get a 3-card reading for, and I'm gonna pull for the new moon in Virgo, which is coming up this Friday. Yes. Okay, welcome everyone. I decided to come back for my Astro and Oracle to my phone because I feel it's more intimate, and then I'll do my interviews on Friday from my computer and stream them to Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff. But it just wasn't working for me and a few people reached out. Some people like the computer better, but anyway, I'm here. And this is what we're doing. Yes, I like this intimacy. Okay. Hi, Martina from France, and Teresa and everyone. Welcome. What is that? Waters? That's waters under something. Hi, Cecilia and everyone. Okay. Let's see. Hey, Ridiculisa. Oh, thank you. I curled my hair for you today. Yes, I did. Ridiculisa thinks I look lovely. Thank you, Ridiculisa. Yes. So, one announcement. I am having a free webinar on August 31st about eclipse season. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the astrology a bit, and then I'm going to do as many hot take chart readings for people as I can to help people with support, because this eclipse season is a lot. It's very emotional, and because there's going to be a lunar eclipse in Pisces on September 7th, and we're already feeling this energy where if you don't stay grounded, you can just get kind of swept away to sea. So I really want people emotionally, to have some support, and I'm doing it free. So, you don't have to worry about money if you're having financial issues. Yeah, so you can sign up at the link in my bio, or you can go to astrologybyceleste.com and register there. And yeah, if you come live, you can get potentially, I can't do everyone, but you can get a chart reading. Oh, I'm also going to Niagara Falls in September to speak for Kepler College. We're having a symposium. I teach for Kepler. I teach transits. My next transits class starts on the 15th of September. And it's intermediate. You have to be able to delineate a natal chart for that class to jump in. If you're more of a beginner, you can come with me to Utah in October and learn about that's going to be more appropriate for, you got to know all the signs and all this stuff, signs, planets, houses, aspects. But for my course for Kepler, you really need to understand how to delineate a natal chart, because we don't get much into that. We jump right in. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Yeah, and all this stuff, I got a bunch of things going on in the link in my bio that you can sign up for. Okay. Okay, Teresa. Yes, I see. Oh, you're so sweet. Hi, Ari. Hey, Brooklyn Astrology. So good to see you. Okay, well, you can watch the recording if you have something else you have to do today. Okay, so let's get going with what we want to talk about today. And I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on in the country in terms of, I think it's a really good help you to understand. And one of the best ways to understand astrology is to watch how it shows up in your own life, but also in the collective. And one of the big things that's been going on is in Texas. And in Texas, the GOP was told by the president to redistrict so he could get more seats in order to try to protect himself from losses at the midterm elections next year. And the House Democratic caucus left the state. And it coincided with Mars' entry into Libra. And Mars in Libra, this is why it's so important to understand, and it's not as important in natal charts, although it gives information, but in the astrology that we're viewing, the transits that are going on, the themes of essential dignity are very important. And it's the seven visible planets, that's the moon out through Saturn, all have signs where they are in domicile, where they are at home, where they have dignity, where they can do what they do with ease. Now, today the moon is in the sign of Cancer, where it's at home and it can do what it does with ease. Have you noticed that people are showing more emotion or feeling? Like if you have little kids, have you noticed the last day or so anything about their behavior that was more aligned with being emotive or intuitive? Have you been getting intuitive hits? You can think about that. So a planet where it's at home has the sign where it's at home, where it can do what it does with ease. It just expresses the energy naturally. And then there's planets that are exalted, signs that planets are exalted in, like the moon's exalted in Taurus, where it's kind of lifted up. It has a special seat at the table. It's not at home, but it's like, if you're Beyonce and you get invited to, I don't know, Buckingham Palace, where they treat you like a royalty or something like that. Yeah. Or if it's like you're invited somewhere and you're treated extra special. Gail, I would call, of Oprah and Gail. Gail is exalted, although she has her own talents and everything, but her friendship with Oprah exalts her in some way. So like Oprah would be in dignity, Gail would be exalted. And then there are planets when they are in the opposite sign of their home. So we're talking about the moon. The moon's at home in Cancer, and its opposite Cancer is Capricorn, where the moon is in detriment. It's as far as from home as it can be. Oppositions at 180 degrees is as far away, and it's a weakened state. And it can feel like you need to go to extremes to get what you want. And so Mars is in detriment in the sign of Libra, because Mars is a planet of conflict and fighting and energy and motivation. And it's at home in Aries. And people with Mars and Aries, like they will just come right at you with, what they want to say or what they want to do. Use that energy very directly, quickly. It's cardinal initiating energy. Now, when Mars is, and it answers to itself. Now, when Mars is as far away from home in the sign of Libra, it has to ask Venus on how to behave. And Venus wants to connect, not sever and separate like Mars. So it has to do things in a different kind of way. And so Mars in Libra, you can think about how in the fight against gerrymandering, all of these Democrats went to these different states in order to move away so that the vote couldn't pass. And that's an extreme thing. And Saturn is in Aries. So Mars and Saturn are opposite each other, and they're both in signs they don't like to be. Saturn's in Aries in the sign of its fall. So fall is opposite exaltation. But they want each other's signs. So it's been really interesting to watch this. Watch Mars and Libra opposite Saturn and Aries. It's separating right now. But I called this, and now I'm getting really complicated because Mars went into Libra, trine Uranus and Pluto. So that's a grand trine in air. And it's like this really turbulent energy of ideas, communications, and it's wind. Yeah. And then opposite Saturn and Neptune and Aries, and Saturn and Neptune are sextile Uranus and Pluto. So in making a kite formation, kites are a chart pattern where you have this grand trine, but it has this, and they're all in the same element, which you can get caught in loops, but the tail of the kite like gives it this energy in order to lift up and give it flight. So I don't know why I've gone off on this tangent, but I have, and there's a reason, I think. Anyway, yeah, so that's the energy. But Mars opposite Saturn. In signs, Mars wants Aries, Saturn wants Libra, because that's where it's exalted. But they can go to really big extremes. And what happened this week is when the Democrats came back to Texas, the head of the legislature said, you have to get a permission slip to leave the Capitol or leave your chambers or anything where you're going to be escorted by a police escort in order to make sure you're back here on Wednesday, which is today, for this vote. So that's Mars in Libra, opposite Saturn. Saturn is the authority, and in Aries, it is in the sign of its fall, where it will go to extremes. And Saturn imprisons, controls, and that's what this oppositions come in from other people they were doing. And there's this one representative in Texas who said, I am not signing your permission slip. Her name is Nicole Collier, and she spent the night in the chambers because she would not sign this permission slip. And she has become a mythic hero. Someone who is Mars and Libra is standing up, and she's standing alone opposite that Saturn and Aries. Everybody else signed the permission slip and went on about their business. Now they're tearing it up, but it's too late. She has set herself apart and amplified her energy by taking a stand. And so I pulled her chart. She was born September 12th, 1972 in Fort Worth, Texas. And we don't have her birth time, but there's some things I wanted to share about the astrology because it's a really great example. She has a stellium in the sign of Virgo, a concentration of energy. Her sun, her Mars, and her Mercury, her identity, her how she takes action, how she thinks and communicates in Virgo, a sign of service, organization, bringing order to chaos, and someone who's willing to put their energy in to make things better on the high road, like a public servant. Having a lot of Virgo energy is just wonderful for that. And her Mars, she has this Mars-Sun conjunction, Mars-Mercury-Sun conjunction. And Mercury is at home in Virgo. So she can speak articulately, clearly, and communicate. She's willing to fight with that Mars and the Sun. She sees herself as a fighter. Yes, she does. And other people do as well. Now, the South Node is on her Mars. And the South Node turns things inside out so we can see them. And so we're seeing her put her money where her mouth is, taking the risk to be arrested, doing the thing, having the guts and the gumption to stand up to overreach by the leader of the whatever you call it, the House of Representatives there. So yeah, and she's getting the Vice President, Kamala Harris, former vice president, called her to say, we are standing there with you. You are not alone. So she's getting a lot of praise for that. And her Mars is being eclipsed at the lunar eclipse on September 7th. So what eclipses do is when we walk through a door, we turn around and there's a wall. So you do something and it changes things. And what she's done, standing alone on the floor, is going to propel her to higher heights. Maybe she'll run for Congress or something like that. But it's really amplified her identity. And this is what eclipses can do. And as for the South Node, when the South Node is impacted, it's about like doing something that is charitable or helps other people. It's not about grandstanding for yourself alone. It was like she was there as a representative for her constituents to try to protect their vote. So hopefully that made sense. But her power was taken away. Mars is like power, energy, drive. The South Node is a drain. Like she couldn't move freely through her, and she's suing because she was essentially held captive. And Venus in the sky in Cancer was on her South Node. Her colleagues all signed their permission slips and left. So there was a drain on the people supporting her. So it's really interesting to see this astrology come to life. Hopefully that made sense and you found something useful out of that. And she's a Scorpio moon, fixed energy. The moon is in fall in Scorpio because it's at home in Taurus. So it's like willing to go to extremes, to just hold that energy, to have that fight. Her moon reports into Mars and Virgo. So she's not someone to be trifled with. Okay. Yes, Nicole Collier. She's incredible. Yes, we were discussing Alice. I was discussing the astrology of what's going on in Texas with the fight to prevent the seats being gerrymandered. And we can also see this with Governor Gavin Newsom's, what his social media team and he are doing is very Mars and Libra, because Libra is ruled by Venus, a hand mirror. And they've been since right around when Mars went into Libra, doing posts and doing them in the same way Donald Trump does them, like with all caps, using his same language, reflecting back at him how he behaves. And the best way to defeat an authoritarian one of the best ways is through mockery and showing how absurd their behavior is. So people are getting very mad, but he's amplifying he's a Libra sun, his profile with these tweets. Like he did one was like, I hate Kid Rock, and Donald Trump had said, I hate Taylor Swift. And now he's doing all these memes where he looks like Superman and all these things. And this has been a very effective strategy of Mars and Libra, like bringing the fight right to the president by behaving in the same way he does, as a mirror to show how absurd it is, opposite that Saturn in Aries. And the Newsom is trying to get something on the ballot. So for California to redistrict if Texas goes through with their plan. So the United States of America is like folding in on itself, which you can see in the astrology. Saturn and Neptune are at RIC. Saturn and Neptune, when they come together, it's a health issue often for like a person, or we're seeing there are all these diseases and things in the collective. The poor rabbits with the horns. Now there's squirrels with warts. In Arizona, there's a canine distemper virus. So, and there's Legionnaire's disease. Like, it's Saturn rules structures, Neptune weakens them. So when they come together, they merge their energy. They're not exact until February, but they're moving together through the Zodiac. They're right now within a degree of each other and at the foundation of the country. So we're seeing like all these structures coming down, like USAID went away, and FEMA is maybe going away, and the emergency management service, and we're going to have the worst hurricane season potentially ever, with the astrology suggests. So this is going to be a big issue. And they're talking about taking away Medicare and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, the parties are like going to extremes, trying to get, well, the executive branch is going to extremes, trying to solidify power so they never give up power again. And it's like this fight, and it's Mars and Libra opposite Saturn and Aries, both in detriment, going to extremes. But yeah, they could come to some kind of balance if they were willing to. But yeah, it's not really happening. So we'll see how things turn out. But think about that because Mars is in Libra through the eclipse. So next solar eclipse on September 22nd. So we'll get a full almost 2 months of this energy where you can see how it shows up. Like the jeans war, Libra has associations with fashion. And there's like all of this fighting about the advertising campaigns. I think like Gap just did this great ad where they're going back to, Gap used to have the best ads where people were dancing. Like I would stop and watch their TV commercials because they were so great. This was like 15 years ago, and they're bringing that back, and it's got a lot of multiracial people in the ad versus this American Eagle thing where it was, I'm not getting upset about all that, but I'm just saying this is what we're seeing, one of the ways we're seeing people fight. So notice culture fights, relationship conflicts, all these kind of things with Mars in Libra. Okay, hopefully that was helpful. Thank you, Lara. Yes, that's my one tarot. Oh, thank you. Yes, I love this ring. Thank you, Martina. Hey, Southern Lady, so good to see you. Happy Wednesday, Wisteria. Yes, thank you. Okay, I think I got all the comments. I hope that was helpful and it's like groups and organizations. Hi, James. Yeah, groups and organizations are in focus because at the new moon, which was July 24th, was in Leo opposite Pluto and Aquarius. So we're seeing this energy of big groups. People around the world are protesting, and in this country and around the world, the people in Israel are getting absolutely apoplectic about trying to get the war to end. And there's people around the world in the streets about what's going on in Gaza, where people are being just slaughtered and starved. It's just a horror show. So we're seeing that, and all sorts of things. In America, people trying to fight against this authoritarian takeover and everything. How do I think the eclipses will impact the U.S.? I'm thinking, okay, so there's going to be a lunar eclipse, hey Gemini, in Pisces. And for the United States, the moon will be in our third house. The third house rules communication, the press, like local transportation, the mail. These are topics that could be coming up. And then the ninth house is foreign affairs, higher education, the courts, like the Supreme Court. There could be a really important Supreme Court ruling. And with Uranus in Gemini, it could be about, Gemini rules children, and Uranus can be sudden breaks. We may find out something about the third house is early childhood education too. And paperwork is going to be very involved with this. The third house has to do with communications and paperwork. So birthright citizenship, there may be something about that. I am thinking that this Jeffrey Epstein stuff is going to come to a head. Like I got the image of and it's so in line with the astrology. Mercury stationed direct in Leo on the president's Saturn, progressed Saturn. His progressed Saturn is about 4 degrees of Leo, where Mercury stationed direct. And Saturn, so he's having hardship, blockages, boundaries, and then Venus and Jupiter were conjunct in Cancer. I got the image of a bunch of these Epstein victims coming together and coming out and talking when Uranus goes retrograde on September 5th and pulls back the tape. So we'll see. I've seen a couple of videos where they're old depositions, and now a lawyer who represents a lot of these people who are part of, who were abused by Epstein and all these other rich people, are coming out. He's out there on the circuit. He was on MSNBC. But I can see that something about this eclipse season is amplifying that story about these people who were abused and how the president was potentially involved. So we'll see what happens about that. I think storms, Pisces, like we could have big storm energy. And so really pay attention if there's this hurricane Aaron, which is potentially causing big problems on the East Coast right now, flooding potentially North Carolina. Storms. Last year with the Pisces lunar eclipse, we had Hurricane Helene. So that's quite possible, especially with all this in air. And I think really pay attention to the disease news, this radioactive shrimp and all this other stuff. Pay attention to recalls and stuff like that, because as much as we're tired of the health stuff, we really need to pay attention, because there could be new things sprouting up with Saturn and Neptune conjunct, because it's a sign of physical weakness. And then the North Node is in Pisces, amplifying illness. The South Node in Virgo, a drain on health. Okay. Gemini, the alchemist, is amazing. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Jimmy, nice to see you. Yes, the release of the Epstein files. I think that's coming. And Gavin Newsom said something about how a House committee had requested certain amount of something from him yesterday. And I wonder if it has something to do with the Epstein stuff, like some depositions, because this eclipse season, paperwork is a big thing with it. Yeah. So we'll see. Okay, let me get to the cards. So hopefully that was helpful. It made sense. Okay. So we're going to do the Astro and the Oracle with Ritual Earth Oracle by Andres and Gracia. It's a really nice deck. This is what the back looks like. I'll put a link in case you want to buy it. I'll put it in the caption, as well as I will post a picture of all the cards and put a link there to my Amazon store. I get a few pennies if you buy it through that. So, and it's a rock pool deck, and Selena Moon, who's got her own decks, did the artwork. It's really nice. Okay, so you're going to listen for your sun, moon, and rising. Oh, good, Gemini. Okay, so for Aries, whether you're a sun, moon, and rising, you got hungry ghost, burdens, guilt, redemption, release. So this is for the new moon in Virgo. And so if you're Aries, sun, or rising, the new moon, Virgo and Aries are quincunx. So they're signs that don't see each other. They have nothing in common by element Aries is fire, Virgo is earth or mode. Aries is cardinal initiating energy, Virgo is mutable flexible energy. So burdens, guilt, redemption, release. King Kong says, move us into new situations where we have to release something. So think about what burdens do you have to put down, Aries? Like there can be a feeling with Saturn in Aries, like that you have too much going on. Saturn can be like having like a heavy weight on your shoulders. But Neptune's with Saturn. So it's really about, for Aries, recognizing what things are holding you down and how can you release them. Whether it's just your thinking, Virgo can be somewhat, you have that Virgo energy, you have Virgo on your 6th house, if you have planets there, or you can think about, are you someone who gets anxious a lot? This can be calling you to let go of some of that. If you are like overworking, maybe think about lightening up your schedule if you can. Sometimes you can't, but if you're feeling a lot of guilt about not being able to do everything you want to do, this is a great time to kind of let go of some of that and think about what can you do to reorganize like your routines and rituals. Sometimes like adding a tool can really help you. Like if you have like a task management, if you need task management, you could add something like Asana or Trello to your life, and it takes time to set it up. But once you do, that could like really add flexibility into your schedule. That could be something you could think about. What do you need to delegate instead of doing everything yourself? Yeah, and this new moon in Virgo on Friday is square Uranus and Gemini. So you may get some big aha moments. Uranus is the great awakener, where you're like, oh, I can do this, and that will make this, this, and this, and this so much easier. Okay, that's Aries. Taurus, you got, Taurus, I'm a Taurus. You got Frolic, respite, momentary joy, shamelessness. Ooh, I'm going to be shameless this evening. My boo and I are going to have some fun tonight. Yes, we are. Oh, and look at all these tomatoes. This is perfect because if you're a Taurus, if you put Taurus on the ascendant, Virgo's in your 5th house. So 5th house is the house of joy. So can you have some joyful times with this new moon cycle? Make sure to think about, okay, like if you're in a relationship and the bedroom's gotten a little stale, bring it back to life. Yes, the 5th house is the house where sex for fun aligns. It's a house of children. Can you get back into your inner child spirit? It's like hobbies fall there, adventure. Yeah. So think about Taurus, how you can bring some more adventure into your life. Yeah, fun. Doing something. Get out of your rut if you're in a rut. Yeah. Ooh, Gemini, you got Golden Pyramid. This is creative vision, achievement, and adventure. Interesting. For Gemini, this new moon. Wait. Is that right? Am I doing this backwards? Let me make sure. Ooh, I think I might have messed up let me see. For Taurus, no, I was right. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm right. Okay. For Gemini, Virgo's your 4th house. Yeah. 4th house at home, foundations. And a pyramid, I guess, is a type of home for Pharaoh. Let's see. Let me see what else this says in here about the Golden Pyramid. And it tells you in here some information. So like the Heb Sed festivals, ancient Egypt. This card indicates that you need to take a moment to pause and inventory your current business, work, and career directions. Are you where you want to be, or are you still hustling to open new doors? So the fourth house is opposite your 10th house of career. So maybe you need to talk to someone else or a mentor or something to help you with your work. I do mentoring using astrology, or you can just come for a reading. This is a big eclipse for you, Gemini, potentially, because it's a mutable sign like Virgo and Pisces, as well as for Sagittarius. Let's see. So think about how you can get more creative. And Uranus is in your sign. So get more creative. Okay. Cancer. Miracle maker, allies, assistance, divine support. Allies, assistance, divine support. So for Cancer, this is in your third house. And so Cancer and Virgo are sextile. Jupiter is in the sign of Cancer. So miracle maker, you could think about miracles with Jupiter and divine assistance and support. So think about a closed mouth does not get fed. Do you want to talk to your allies about how you can grow something, achieve something, or just talk through? Maybe you just need to talk and connect, and it's not anything very serious. But if you need any help, it's available for you. Yeah. But you may have to ask for it or write a letter for it. Okay. Hi, Ben Brujo. So nice to see you. Yes. Oh, good. Okay. Ooh, Leo. Leap of faith. Happiness, talent, blessings, good luck. Now, Leo, this new moon is in your second house of finances and your resources. So think about, what do you want to do? Is there something that you need to do that may be feel like you have to take a little trust or risk or leap of faith in order to get it done? But can you be optimistic about what you can create? And yeah, think about that. If you have your own business and you want to launch a new product or something like that, that can be a great thing to do. So make some plans about that, or budgeting, or some kind of investment you want to do. Think about that. And this really looks like, here we've got a dragon. Yeah, it looks like an eclipse. Let's see, 21. Does it say anything about the eclipses? Eclipses, because a dragon is a symbol of an eclipse. Well, this is Lunar New Year, China, South Korea, and Vietnam. So there are different celebrations and that people do, and guidance based on each of them. Yeah. But I like that. How can you start like a new year for yourself financially, maybe? If there's a job you want to go for, but you're like, oh, I'm not qualified. Since when has that stopped other people from applying to things? Look at the people we have in our government. We'll have no business, no experience running like the military and all of this kind of stuff. Why would you let something stop you because you don't have the exact MS-DOS experience from, applying for a job? I'm just making up MS-DOS. When you've got people with unbelievable responsibility with no qualifications. So anyway, Virgo, The Witch's Heart. History, survival, intuition, spiritual truth. Well, Virgo is the priestess. This is your new moon, where it is in your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising sign. And so that's the first house energy, which is about the self, how your vitality, it's called the mask you wear, the ascendant, and which starts the first house. Let me read this. I can't even read this. Walpurge is not Germany. I've never heard of that, but that must be a festival in Germany. Walpurg is not. Can somebody write in if you know what this is? If you're still here on Jay, what is this? What is this festival from Germany? One definite thing we can learn from the history of witches is their cunning and ability to survive against all odds, and resilience is this card's lesson. And Virgo, the South Node's in your sign, so this time is calling for you for resilience, because it's turning whether it's your emotions with your moon, your identity with your sun, or how other people see you with your ascendant and your vitality, your appearance, that sort of thing. It's turning things inside out and bring things up to your conscious attention. And if you're feeling anxious, Virgo, it's a reminder of that, how resilient you are. The powerful woman, the divine feminine, the witch, has been repressed for thousands of years. However, this feminine energy is waking up again and making its way back. Once considered superstition at the best and devil worship at worst, witchcraft is being rediscovered. You are finding yourself again, and qualities that have been lost are starting to resurface. Embrace your spiritual side and explore all the possibilities you can. Yeah, and there's a ritual in here that you can do. Yeah, and this, whatever this thing is, Walpurgis Night is held in Germany and celebrated annual on the eve of April 30th. Due to its dark past in medieval times, Walpurgis Night is sometimes referred to as something that starts with the H, and is the burning of the witches. Ooh. But as time went by, superstitious beliefs were solely replaced by science and academic knowledge, and hysteria about witchcraft gradually began to die down. This is so interesting. Like what's his guy's name? Tucker Carlson did something trying to talk about how he was attacked by demons. There's like this demonization of spirituality that's not, Christian nationalism, kind of seeping its way back into the energy. So, pay attention to that stuff. It's not a problem yet. Yeah, so it's about finding your way back to you being your priestess self, trusting your spiritual truths. You can look up that festival if you want. Yeah, that's an interesting card for Virgo, seeing as its priestess energy. Yeah, and I'm a board member for OPA, the Organization of Professional Astrology, and on the 31st, we're having a speaker, Marina Ohms, who is talking about Virgo energy and why witches use brooms is the name of her talk. So you can sign up for that. It's only $15 if you're not an OPA member, but I highly encourage OPA membership. So if you're a Virgo, you might want to definitely check that out, or have strong Virgo energy. Oh, and this is, you know what this is? This is Nicole Collier. She is standing up against the Saturn and Aries fire. That's this. She's a Virgo. She's a triple Virgo. And yeah, not a triple Virgo. She has 3 planets in Virgo, a stellium in Virgo. Sun, Mars, and Mercury. So that's this card. Yeah. Okay. Libra. Ooh, the healer. Offerings, release, freedom. I think Mars and Libra is really here to help you, Libra, to help you set healthy boundaries. Mars can sever and separate. Libra's nature can be, wanting harmony and balance, justice, these sorts of things, and can sometimes get into people pleasing or going along to get along to have these things happen, and that can be unhealthy. So Mars is here bringing to your conscious attention what you want, what is worth fighting for, where you need to set boundaries, where you need to draw a fire circle around yourself. And Saturn and Neptune and Aries are going to be opposite all of your Libra placements over the coming years. And so you're coming up against structures or boundaries, or potentially someone acting in a way that is extremely trying to control you, and you're needing to this is an opportunity for recognition and healing and release and freedom from that which does not serve you. Absolutely. Love that for you, Libra. Okay. Let's see. Yes, a witches festival. Thank you, Lara. Oh, good, amazing day. I'm glad you love that. Okay. Ooh, Scorpio, synchronicity, sacred trinity, mediumship, duty. Look at this card for Scorpio, synchronicity. So for Scorpio, this is your 11th house. Yes. The new moon is in your 11th house. And whenever you have a new moon in the 11th house, it happens, like once a year. Although we're having two Virgo new moons, because Friday we're having a new moon at 0 Virgo, and September 21st we're having a solar eclipse, which is a new moon times 10,000 at 29 Virgo. So the alpha and the omega, the beginning and the end of the signs, the initiation and the crisis, and falling away before moving into a new sign. So synchronicity. Jan Spiller says whenever there's a new moon in your 11th house, it's a granddaddy power period. And you should just put your wishes out into the universe, and things may come back to you tenfold, more than you even wanted. So Jupiter's in Cancer, another water sign like Scorpio. They're in a trine. And, Nicole Collier is a Scorpio moon, the Texas representative. And, she saw her staying and not signing that permission slip as a duty. The synchronicity of her doing this. She may be like Kamala Harris called her. Right place, right time. It was just her destiny to be there. And think about what things are coming for you that are about destiny. And the 11th house is a house of good fortune, friends, groups, organizations. Is there something you want to align yourself with, or maybe even take, a little bit more of a role in, and it can be growth and expansion. You can think about coming with me to Utah in October for my predictive astrology 3-day intensive. With the Organization of Professional Astrology Cosmic Shift Retreat. It's going to be phenomenal. We went there last year. The place in Park City, Utah is absolutely fabulous. Ooh, Sagittarius. The way of water, compassion, goodwill, merit, fortune. Ooh, so for Sagittarius, this is your 10th house. There's a new moon in your 10th house. That's your career house. that is, you know, think about what you want to grow there. You will be more visible at work. So this is not a time to fool around. This is a time to think about, you know, achieving goals or going for a new job if that's something you want, or think about, you could get some good luck. The new moon is square Uranus. So there can be potentially, there can be like, you could get a synchronicity with the right place at the right time. Johnny's out for coffee and the boss needs something or needs someone to do something, and you can get an unexpected opportunity that amplifies who you are in the office or something, and gives you more prestige that could lead to a promotion or something around this time. The promotion may not come till later, like next year when Jupiter's in Leo in a trine with Sagittarius, but who knows? It could come next week. It could come at September 7th. You do such a good job with this. September 7th, lunar eclipse. Surprise! You are getting a promotion, potentially. Or let's make it a raise. A promotion can just be nonsense with more work. Okay, anyway, we're now to Capricorn. Higher perspective, cycles, transformation, circle of life. So Capricorn, this Virgo New Moon is in your 9th house of like higher thought and belief systems. And this can be a really great time to examine what you're doing. Is this what you want to be doing? How you're thinking? You may be coming to some real serious aha moments, especially Capricorn, if you're spending too much time trying to keep up with the Joneses or just make money for status or things like that. That's more shadow Capricorn energy. Yeah. You may come up to some new priorities with this new moon, and that square to Uranus is like, why am I spending my time doing X when really what matters to me is Y? So you may be getting a higher perspective and making some changes. Let me look at that card. Celestial Funeral was the card. Nothing is permanent, yet we are all recycled energy and mass transform again and again. So think about maybe Capricorn, Virgo rules health. And this may be a time you want to go through your cabinets and throw away any expired food, or think about what you're eating, bringing in, if you can, some more healthy ingredients or something like that. The principle of conservation of energy says that itself is indestructible. Energy transforms from one form to another. Interesting. Celestial burials reflect the particular focus within Vajrayana Buddhism known as the transmigration of spirits. This action of a sentient being led to a new existence after death in an endless cycle is called samsara or karma. In much of Tibetan land, the earth is incredibly hard and too rocky to dig a grave. So the function of the sky burial is simply to dispose of the remains in a generous ego-conscious manner, as well as a devotion to greater spirit. Oh, I had a thought. Tibetan people are... this is really interesting. So it's about Tibet and such. Tibetan people and these rare and threatened creatures. This is something about the birds that Tibet calls holy eagles. So So have a higher perspective. Think about, maybe you need a cord cutting or something like that. Okay. For Aquarius, Marigold Dreams, remembering, loving, embrace, and quiet comfort. Remembering, loving, embrace, and quiet comfort. So Aquarius, this is in your 8th house. All right, let me make sure. Right. Yes. The 8th house is the house of psychological processes, and it's a house, there's some shadow work you're going to be doing. This is going to shine light on shadows, things you'd rather disown about yourself. Virgo and Aquarius are in a quincunx. Yeah. And so just keep in, So just be aware some things may be surfacing through this new moon cycle that are here to help you, not hurt you. Even if they're like, ooh, I wish I didn't have to deal with the fact that I feel social anxiety when I'm around more than 5 people, or whatever your thing is. You may do some work. You may mine for gold in the cave. The 8th house is like the cave, and get some wisdom and understanding and self-understanding of yourself. Yes. Oh, your 8th house has your ruler, Uranus. Wonderful. Teresa. Oh, you made it back. Oh, fantastic. So Aries in Virgo is your midheaven. So yes, this is a great time. You're going to be more visible at work. The sun is shining through your 10th house of career, calling, reputation, all that kind of stuff. What are you wanting to let go of because the South Node is there? What is being turned inside out so that you can see things? Yeah. Where do you need to bring order to chaos? Pisces. Jesus. Well, Pisces, this is your 7th house. And you got reap what you sow. Rage, revolution, materialism. So Pisces, this lunar eclipse could really impact you very significantly. Because if you're a Pisces ascendant or sun or moon, this Virgo's opposite. And so, and the new moon is squaring Uranus. So like if you're like a 0 degree or 1 degree Virgo, or Pisces sun, moon, or rising, you are really going to feel this new moon and this square to Uranus. Like this could be like something going on with family too, because, okay, so you're a Pisces rising. Let's just use Pisces rising on the ascendant. That puts Virgo on your descendant. So the new moon is opposite you. So it's going to really be shining a light on your 7th house people, which is your spouse or significant other. It's got like best friend energy. And it also can be like these one-on-one relationships with like your doctor. Could be like if you're having a health issue and you're getting nowhere with your doctor, you could really be getting mad about it. And you have Gemini, where Uranus is on the 4th house of home. So this could be like conflict with your partner about things about home, like who cleans up the kitchen or who takes out the garbage, and rage can come up. So just be aware so that you don't snap and just go off, and then now you've got this big mess to clean up energetically. It's a good time to, as we move through the new moon, which is on Friday, doing some journaling to get in touch with what things are bringing up things inside of yourself, because on September 7th, the full moon is going to be in Pisces, and that could be it's going to shed full exposure on your one-on-one relationships. Yeah, in some way. The Pisces lunar eclipse full moon is at 15 degrees. So that's halfway through the sign. So you've got this new moon in Virgo, full moon, lunar eclipse, halfway through the sign, 15 Pisces, and then another new moon solar eclipse at 29 Virgo. So for the next several months, and in fact, the next 6 months, Pisces risings, your 7th house is going to have a lot of focus and growth and things. Yeah. So this is Krampusnacht, Germany. This card is a reminder to manage your vices and bad habits so they don't impede your life in a negative way. Alternatively, it can indicate no matter how hard you try to prove your value, there's always going to be someone who will see you as the devil and complain. Why not turn up as loud and confident as possible? There is no need to be modest. You can stand on the merit of your hard work and express yourself just as you wish to be. Like if you've been too self-sacrificing for the other, think about that. Yeah. This is traditionally celebrated, this Krampusnacht, December 5th across Germany and other parts of Europe. The pagan legend of Krampus tells of a beastly creation that was a counterpart to the kindly Saint Nick. The latter rewarded children with gifts and sweets, while Krampus swatted wicked children with birch branches and stuffed them in a sack before carrying them to the underworld. So you can also think about your two faces, how you're different. Like with Mars and Libra, like if Pisces energy can kind of be like a savior energy, or there could be a shadows of victim mentality. Oh, I do so much for you and you don't do that. And then get all mad and blah, blah, blah. So this can be an opportunity to reflect in relationship how you get what you want. When are you like Saint Nick? Like just give nonstop. Or like Krampus, where you're ready to stuff somebody in a sack and be done with them. So yeah, so think about that. And think about, the nature of reaping what you sow. And like if you've had difficulty in your relationship, okay, how did you get here? Rather than just projecting, which the 7th house, we can project all of the problem on the other. Think about how we co-created this in energy together. Can be something that you think about. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Is there any other comments I want? Uh-oh. Oh, you like Krampus. Okay, Teresa. Let's see. Hi, Julia, so good to see you. Ridiculisa, you like that. You're a Pisces sun. Perfect. Yeah, this will give you a really good opportunity over the next couple of months to really focus in on the 7th house, people in your life, how you relate to them, and you'll learn a lot about yourself. Great time to be doing some journaling, especially with Uranus and Gemini. It may give you the words to some things that have been hidden from you in your psyche. Yes. Okay. Space Cassette, I see you there. I love your handle. Oh yeah, Lara, you have a Pisces moon in the 4th house at 4 degrees. So think about how Uranus is squaring, Lara, your Pisces moon and bringing things to your conscious attention about what you want freedom from. And I know your mother is having a lot of stuff going on. And this could be a really great time if you don't, like documenting her stories, like maybe asking her about her childhood. And you may learn some things about your mother that are just like, oh, wow, she may be more likely to talk about things she